Hey guys, it's Rich. I wanted to show you this property that I listed. It's just west of Paola. You know, the one with the big blue barn you see behind me. And what we did is we went out, we looked at, this is a functioning blackberry farm. They've had blackberries here. They've been growing and selling to wineries and other places. So we went and did a tour of the property. I'm gonna go and you're gonna see me wander around here with John, who's the current owner. And one of the nice things about this property is not only does it have all the blackberries and all the other stuff, it's got a big high tunnel, but it comes with all the equipment. So you got a gator, you got a mower, you got a tractor with, I mean, it's just got everything you need to operate, including the shovels, fertilizer, all kinds of stuff. He gives us details on, you know, what kind of production they were getting before. It's a really great property. It's got a nice view, got a spot on the over here on a hill for a nice house eventually. That's where they were planning to do. So I want you to take a look at this, and if you have any questions on anything here, don't hesitate to give me a call, 913-207-7152, or email me, rich@crownrealty.com. Either one of those will get me, but I want you to enjoy this property. This is a pretty special place because if you've been thinking about having a hobby farm or a homestead, this one's already set up for you. I mean, he's got 4+ acres already planted with rows. He's got a machine that picks the blackberries. I mean, that's one of the pieces of equipment that comes with this property, and it's a nice property. It's got some unique features. You'll see a fantastic view I shot earlier of just kind of a panoramic of when you're up on that hillside and what it looks like. So he's got a cistern. It's right here behind me. 1,600 gallons, I think. He's got it. It's on the, we'll have to check the video for sure, but I want you to enjoy this. And if you have any questions, or if you know somebody else who needs this kind of service in real estate, don't hesitate to give them my number or my email address. So I look forward to showing it to you guys. I hope you enjoy it. So what year is this one?
It should be on that sheet.
I've got it on that sheet, right?
I don't remember exactly. I know that we bought this when we first bought the place. It was probably 12 years old.
Okay. And then how many hours are on it now?
It's got 578 hours on it right now.
All right. And it's a John Deere model 300 loader, 3203.
Is the tractor. It's got the 300 loader on it. There's a 5-foot rotary blade.
Oh yeah.
There's a 5-foot tiller. There's the box blade. There's a grading blade and a post hole digger.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And those are all listed on that sheet too.
Yep, and I'll have that sheet on the website here later today. And this one here is a 625i.
625i, and this is a power dump bed.
Okay.
Back.
So you don't have to do all that physical part. This one a gas one, right? Is that?
Yes.
How big's that tank in the back there?
That's 125 gallons.
125 gallons. Independent rear suspension even, look at that.
Yes.
And this is a Gravely model.
It's a Pro Turn 60, the commercial version.
Okay.
As you can see from
yeah,
that.
oh yeah, there we go, Pro Turn 60. And got the sunshade on there and the whole deal. Okay.
But I do have the original regular blades and the chute that goes on the end. If you have the regular, all those parts are in there, never used.
Awesome. And then the cistern's out here, right, underneath in this back on the other corner. Oh, okay, there it is right there. So I'm gonna walk over here. I'm just gonna leave this thing rolling. So
1,700-gallon cistern.
1,700.
And then there's 16 rain barrels, 4 on each corner. Those are 55 gallons apiece.
All tied in already together?
Well, each 4 on the corner are tied together.
Okay.
And then I just run a hose to let them gravity feed into the cistern to fill the cistern.
Awesome.
And then I've got a submersible pump that I use to get the water out of the cistern into the tanks when I need to do that.
And then we've got the solar panels up there on the roof.
There's one solar panel on the roof. The controller and the rack up there will hold 4 panels.
Okay. Awesome. There's the entrance to the thing. I'll go around and walk around a little bit later and kind of give everybody a introduction into the property. So this is the back side of the shop. I showed that we have a couple pictures of the front. I'm going to wander around to the front side here. Kind of walk in the front door. Big bay door. Hopefully we can get enough light in here to see a little bit. We'll have to check it out. I think we'll be all right. That big door open. All right.
These are 12-volt lights.
Oh, okay. That makes it easy.
Which they're on a remote, so you can turn them on when you first come in the door.
Oh, you can? Okay. Come over there. That's that other door. And then this trailer is...
This is a 14-foot twin axle trailer. It's got maybe 150 miles on it. Total.
pretty much all around the property.
Except for one trip on the highway to Olathe and one trip from Ottawa to bring it here.
Low miles for a tandem axle trailer.
Brand new trailer.
Right. And then that's how many gallons is that
That's
water?
550 gallons, and then there's another 200-gallon tank behind it.
All right. Let's go right here. You usually pumped out of the ponds to fill these, or you do the cistern too?
I've been pumping out of the cistern to fill these, and then taking them out to the high tunnel for water and vegetables.
Oh, okay. All right. So you know all the stuff in here is going to come with it. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I can film anything.
Everything except the wheelbarrow.
Except the right. That is spoken for. Don't even get any ideas if you're watching this on YouTube.
That sprayer, it's a 30-gallon sprayer. There's a brand new pump on it. Never been used.
Right.
There's a boom sprayer on the back.
Oh yeah, right. So you can just drag it around and spray as you need to.
Even a chainsaw goes with the place.
All right. That's over here on the rolls. Is that
There's
fence wire?
1.5 miles of that. That's electric fence wire.
And it's how many? 1.5 miles?
There's about 4.5 miles of it.
4.5 miles on those rolls. Okay, that's a bunch. So we've got the. This is your shade cover
This
for
is
the
shade cloth.
for the high tunnel.
It's actually to put over the blackberries, but you can use it.
Oh, it is. Okay. So you put it over the blackberries just to keep them from if it's super hot outside?
If you get one of those summers where you got 30, 100 degree days, you probably got to want it.
Okay. Good to know.
That's when we bought it, and we haven't had to use it.
Okay. All right. You got bait stations out here just in case to keep down the critters. And now this is an interesting cart here. This is for if you're pumping stuff out of the ponds, I'm guessing. You can use this.
There's about 500 foot of hose on that, and there's another 100 foot that's brand new.
Okay.
Of course, you've got the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
You probably want to mention on the solar, there's 400 amp hour batteries.
Oh, okay. Yep.
They're all deep cycle batteries.
So this is where your solar's coming in outside.
Yeah, it's coming in off the roof.
And there's your charge controller and all the other stuff.
Charge controller. These switches here is just a cutoff switch, so if you need to work on it, you can cut it off between the batteries and the solar
Okay.
panel.
And there's your big deep cycle
There's
batteries.
the 4 big deep cycle batteries.
Right.
And then just a small inverter for when I need to run something
Right.
AC off of it.
Yeah, and then the DC lights, that makes
DC
it nice.
lights
So
up
they're,
there.
and LEDs too, so they're not drawing a lot of power. So this is your
That's the grading blade.
for the tractor,
Yeah.
right? So
And then there's 2 of these pumps. One of them's brand new. That's obviously not the brand new one for irrigation.
we got there's the other one over there, the Briggs and Stratton one.
No, that's a generator.
That's the generator, okay?
The other one of these pumps is sitting up front.
Oh, okay. It was just
There's also a smaller generator, all of the cotton burr compost, all the extension cords, the hoses, everything stays.
everything stays.
There's also forks for the front of the tractor if you need to move small pallets
Right.
around.
Okay. Great.
That's the post
And this
hole
is the
digger
post hole digger back here.
with 2 different blades.
Right.
All the shovels, the rakes, all of that stays. The ramps stay, everything.
The ladders and the
That's a
sprayers and
All sprayers, gas cans.
everything to start your business.
There's also a 16-foot garage door. All of the rails and the springs are in here, and the door panels are out behind the horse shed.
Okay. We'll look at that here in a little bit, right? We'll go out there, and that's that one extra little building out there. That,
That's
okay.
where that's just where I was storing the
Right.
garage door panels. But all
Right.
the track and the spring and everything are in here.
And this is your hose out there for the watering of the blackberries, right? This is all your connection system for the.
That's the type of hose that we use. I've got 500 foot that's brand new, which is this. which
That
hasn't
box
been
right
used.
there, yeah.
That's 1/2 inch. Most of what's out there is all got gallon per hour pressure compensating emitters on it.
Okay.
The irrigation's not completed except in one section, but it's about 90% done, and all of the fittings, I got all kinds of extra fittings and parts for it in here.
They're out here too. Okay. Awesome.
Valves, works.
Oh, there's your other pump over there, I guess, right?
That's the brand new pump.
Right. And this is our
That's the tiller.
tiller for the tractor.
Yep.
So awesome.
Even the grill stays.
And the grill stays. You got to have the grill. Got to have that. So, and like, I mean, you guys did small fortune in, gas cans here. So
Well, yeah,
that's,
because we never did put in a big tank.
yep.
Gas and diesel, but literally all the rakes,
All these
shovels,
tools and-
everything stays. There's another electric pump.
Awesome. All right. So this is your high tunnel. And what's the dimensions on it?
It's 96 feet by 30 feet.
96 by 30.
14 feet tall at the center.
14 feet tall at the center.
Every one of these posts is cemented in, so it's not going anywhere.
How deep down do those go? Are they 3 feet down, or are they?
That was about a 3-foot hole on each one, yes. 'Cause
Okay.
that's all I could get with the.
Right. Oh, you
Post
used
hole
your
digger,
postal
yeah.
digger on them. Well, that makes sense. Use the machine there. So, and there's the big beastie. There's the video on the YouTube page if you guys aren't familiar with how that works. But basically, this is a blackberry picking machine right here. All those little fingers knock everything off. It's pretty slick.
And the additional deck is that's over there that clips on to make a bigger platform.
So it clips on right on this outside here, so somebody can stand there if they
It
need
just
to.
hooks right in here so somebody can manage the berries and the trays coming off while somebody else is driving.
Right.
1.6 liter Volkswagen diesel engine.
Ah, I see. So, and then this is, it's on here. You got some raised beds. You guys were growing some stuff in here.
We're growing sweet potatoes in here. The wood is at the point now that it's rotten. All this compost just needs to be spread out and filled in,
Okay.
which was our original intention.
Right. That goes all the way, what is that, 25 feet or so at least? That's about 40 feet, yeah. So clear down here. So we got,
60 feet by probably 3 feet originally.
right, good topsoil to use there.
That's compost and topsoil mixed together.
Oh, okay, good. So here's the front side of this machine here. So, and then you've got your rows laid out, so this thing just goes right down.
Yeah, you just drive right down the row. It shakes the bushes, collects the berries, They come up over the top, and then as they go across the top conveyor belt, the fan blows all the leaves and anything that might have got caught in there, and then they drop into trays. So you just need somebody watching the trays and somebody driving the machine.
Right. And then that's a 1985, and the name of the, again, was?
Lithau is the manufacturer. That's where we got it from.
Right.
They had refurbished it when we bought it. We've had it about 6 years. Really haven't used it much, only because we haven't been working the farm that much.
Right. And then what is your production like last year on berries? What did you guys end up getting? Is there like a pound? How did you guys gauge it?
Last year we got about 600 pounds, but like I said, we have not been maintaining this the last couple years, so that's way low. Before the last drought several years ago, we had a 2,000 pounds out of just those main rows.
Oh, really?
Before we'd even put in all the rest of it.
Wow. Awesome.
And that was our first commercial sale to Stone Pillar Winery for 1,000 pounds.
Wow, awesome. So yeah, so if you're actually out here doing stuff, you're going to get a huge production because you guys have planted more since that.
We've probably put in 4 to 5 times as many plants as we had at that point.
Okay.
That are a couple years away from full production.
But yeah, but they're well on their way. They're starting the right way.
Literally, we bought this because after that 2,000 pound year, it about killed us to pick them by hand.
Right, so you guys were picking all those by hand
We
for that?
picked all of those by hands because we didn't have anything yet.
Well, that's, I could see where this machine
And wanting to,
would really, for how many thousand pounds was it?
we had 2,000 pounds that year.
That you picked by hand. That would be, yeah, I would be motivated to find that machine too. So,
Well, we were planning on expanding out and making this a commercial venture, mostly supplying wineries,
Right.
which is why most of the rows out by the rows, those are 500-foot long rows.
right, oh,
They were
perfect for
set
this
up
thing.
specifically for this.
Right,
And
makes sense.
we've got the 10 rows out there. We were going to add 25 more.
All right.
That's why we bought the picker.
Right, makes perfect sense. So, and I guess, I mean, I've seen a lot of equipment, but I've never seen one of these before. How many of these are around the country, do you think? I mean, is this a pretty rare piece?
They only make them in 2 places, up in Michigan and out in Oregon, Washington.
Okay.
There's only one other one in the Midwest that I know of.
Okay.
I mean, literally, you're going to have to find it somewhere and ship it in if you want another one.
Right.
That's
okay.
what we had to do.
Right, yeah. And where did yours come from?
We bought it in Washington State.
Okay, you bought it from those guys. And
Actually,
had
it was about 15 miles from the Canadian border.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
had it shipped down here on a truck.
That's, yeah, so, yeah.
5 mile an hour top speed.
I don't know that I want to go much faster than that with that.
You really don't want to go that fast even when you're picking berries.
I imagine. So then, yeah, so the high tunnel, I'm going to kind of come over here and show everybody. Now, you said that if somebody was going to use this tunnel, it'd probably be a good idea, maybe.
It's going to need a new cover.
It's going to need a cover eventually, so just something to think about. And then, of course, the ends. Who's the manufacturer on this high tunnel?
This was Farm Tech.
Farm Tech. So if you want to get the ends for it, they still sell all that stuff.
They sell ends. They also sell hard sides if you want to make it more of a greenhouse.
Right.
And
Yeah, because your greenhouse conversion's almost here on this thing right now. With, you get new.
Basically, so you can these clips, they just work into a channel to hold it on. So it's real easy to put on and to take off when you need to change it.
Right. Awesome. So yeah, that's
The sides are clipped on independent at the top.
Yep. And you set up the new cover. What's that? What'd you say that was?
It runs between $600 and $700. That includes the sides.
And you and your wife put this on by yourselves?
Me and a friend of
You and your
mine,
friend, okay.
plus a bunch of my daughter's friends who were pulling it over from the other side.
Okay, so it's not anything that's that difficult to do.
We did it in an afternoon.
Awesome.
Now it took longer to put up the frame, but the top
Yeah,
went up in an afternoon.
Right. That is the easy part.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So this is one of the ponds here, and you said, how big is this one?
This is one we had put in. It's 60 by 100 feet, 8 feet deep in the center, so it's basically 25,000 gallons of irrigation water when it's full. This pond and the main pond all have a wire running out to a post in the middle. So if you run an irrigation suction line off of that wire, it'll always keep it at least 2 feet off the bottom. So you're not sucking
up all the trash and the muck and everything else off the bottom. So, and this one is kind of give you an idea where we're at. There's the high tunnel in the background right there. So we're not too far off the high
keep up.
They need a little TLC is all. So, and then we got other roads right over here on our left side. So we're gonna drive past those here in a second as well. 500-foot rows right there. We'll go take a look at those here in a second.
Blackberries are sensitive,
Yeah.
so they're real hard to get rid of.
So in those drip lines built into there, I see the little spigots on there, so it just drips down right when you...
Those are the pressure compensating emitters so that it drips even down the whole row.
Okay. So how many rows are there here across?
There's 10 in here, 8 of them are really planted.
Okay.
These little cedar trees were the beginning of a windbreak we were putting up.
Okay, that's on the other side here. Let me... Those are the...
These I actually just took off the back of the property. They were about a foot high 3 years ago. They're growing like crazy. But I was going to put them all along here to help with the wind and the dust.
Right. Right. And then the property line goes right up there to the...
Where those bushes are coming across,
Right.
the cedar trees.
So we'll drive up there if we can.
You don't want to go quite all that.
Yeah.
All the way.
All right, so we're up here on the hill. There's the the bushes we have, the blackberries we haven't driven by yet, and then the high tunnel off in the distance, and then that's how many gallons is that water tank?
That's 1,750 for that one.
Right.
I basically fill that with a pump from the pond and then use that to fill the tank in the gator when I'm feeding or doing something smaller.
Okay, and this is pond number 2 up here.
This is the main pond up here.
Okay, this is the primary one.
Yeah.
So
Now, when I was talking about the 2,000 pounds, these 5 rows here, we didn't have those at that point.
okay,
It was the other ones was enough to produce that.
wow, awesome. So, and then this, guys, if you're looking, this is the dirt over here that came out. It doesn't look very much of it on this side, but this is the dirt that came out of the pond for down there. So this is 25,000 gallons of dirt. Came right out of that pond down there and then came up here on the hill. So if you need topsoil, this is the place to get it. So this is the other pond over here, a good size. Lots of water in here. And you can see we got, I mean, it's a nice pond. There's still one more up the hill here. We have
This is 15 to 18 feet deep in the middle.
15 to 18 feet in the middle. So, what do we say we're across there? 100 feet on the widest part?
I don't know. I do know that when we first bought the property,
Yeah.
the pond only went to about right here.
Okay.
And then when we had the long drought, we expanded all of this.
Okay.
And that's when we put in the front pond, so that if we get another one of those droughts, as long as I start full, I've got 3 years worth of water.
Awesome. That's a good idea. So, and then over there in the back, you see my truck there in the background, but on that hillside, being a perfect place for a home, and I'll go up there and do some pictures coming the other direction. But that, you can actually see this entire property from that hillside right.
This hillside, you can see all of it.
Right, there you go.
From this side, it would also be nice for a home, but you wouldn't be able to see the back side of the property.
Okay, so from that point, you can see the whole thing right up on that hillside.
Up over there.
Right. So we're hoping to get the aerial done tomorrow, which will be really good for.
Yeah, because then you'll be able to see the ponds and everything in better proportion.
Right. And there's the shop, and this is the building you have all the garage door parts, correct?
The garage door is out behind it. There's
Okay.
a lot of extra T-posts. There's other posts and stuff over there. A lot of miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got to have that on a farm.
Yeah.
So lots of miscellaneous.
I mean,
So
the structure of the shed itself isn't much. We were planning on taking it down and putting up a new building. It's just something we never got to.
understand. So
There is a really nice lawnmower in there, but the handle's all busted up thanks to my brother-in-law, and they wanted $125 for a new handle. So we bought a new lawnmower.
right, yeah.
But everything, it works. The engine and the blades and everything are good if you want to fix it up.
Yeah. Or if you know somebody with the other parts.
Well, I don't have a welder, or I would have built it.
Oh yeah, right. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me go.
But the other thing is,
yep.
when we first bought this, we were pulling 15 to 18-inch largemouth bass out of this pond.
Oh, really?
During the worst of the drought, the biggest ones were about a foot, and now that we're 3 or 4 years past that, they're getting bigger again. There's also fish in the back pond, and we just started seeing fish in the front pond last year.
Right.
So if you like frogs, there's monster frogs.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. So. Oh yeah.
Basically just 3 rows running down the coast.
Wow. So this is the back pond, and very back corner of the property. You can kind of see in the background there, there's a fence row right back there. But this will fill up eventually, and probably closer to springtime, going to get a lot of water in it. And there are fish in there too, you said?
There are fish in there too. We pulled, my sister-in-law pulled a 15-inch largemouth out of there.
Yeah.
And some sunfish, crappie type fish as well.
Really? Any idea how deep that one is?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I'd say maybe 8-10 feet tops.
Right. Yeah, still that's...
And then you can see that fence line here.
Right.
That's running north and south.
Yep. And that's your property line up there where that
Where
fence...
the T-posts are.
Right, where the T-posts are. So I'm going to wander up there, and I'll get a view of everything looking down. There's the property line. Those T-posts are it. You can see the barbed wire fence there. So I'll give you an idea. See that bush is right there, that tree is growing right on it. Here is your view. To say this is a fantastic place to put a house would be an understatement. You can just see everything around here. So if you're still following along, I was over at that tree. You can see right there that big cedar tree, and there's the fence row behind. So I moved down a little bit, which would be to the south, to this location, which is like really, you know, this is the optimum place for a house. You got a nice panoramic all the way around, good view of everything. I mean, it is nice. You're up. This ground, the way it's laid out, perfect for a walkout basement. Right up the hill here, they wouldn't have to excavate much. This is actually lower. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's actually cut out here. This is kind of a cutout for water, but This would make the perfect place for that walkout basement. Nice deck on here, nice view of everything. And man, I get much better than that out of here. This is pretty impressive. All right, so a lot of the pictures that we've seen that I posted on with it has the blackberries. Is that this grove here? This is where
This is where the main plants are and the original plants. These are all Doyle's, which is an extremely high producing variety compared to most other ones that are grown in this area, to the tune of 5 to 10 to 1.
wow.
That's why we chose these, because the other bushes take just as much care as these do. So why not go with one that's going to outproduce the others?
Right. So all these, and we got again the irrigation set up.
Irrigation is set up, it's just not connected. This is designed to have a flexible pipe rolled out across the end and have each of the rows hooked to it.
Okay, so that's why that one's sticking up in the air. It's just waiting to get connected.
Yeah, the connector's not on it, and it's not connected to anything because the flexible hose is because if you bury a pipe, you have wintertime problems of trying to keep it cleaned out. They freeze, they break.
Right.
If you could roll out a flexible hose when you need to irrigate, roll it up when you're done, then there's nothing in the way of the equipment going through. And on a normal year, you might have to irrigate twice, maybe
Okay.
3 times during berry season.
Right.
We put all of this irrigation in because we had the extended drought, and this was all in preparation for the next time that cycle comes around.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, most of the time we don't use this at all.
They're fine on their own, and
In fact, when we had the 2,000-pound picking, we didn't have any of the irrigation in at that point.
wow. Now I think you were telling me the last time I was out here on this, you'd recommend like something around the base here.
Well, this is because I haven't been able to keep up with it for the last couple years. That's what you need to do.
Okay, so that's what you're effectively wanting to make it. So like wood chips or something like that. Would that?
You can use the grass.
Okay.
You can use this is cotton burr compost. You can use whatever you want as mulch. But if you get the grass out and keep it mulch, the grass will stay out. All the new shoots will come right through it with no problem.
Great. That's good. And this is how long have these plants been here? It's kind of a general idea.
These 30 plants were the original ones, which are probably 10, 11 years old. They did suffer a bit during the drought, and they're coming back. They're still not quite as full as they were before we had the drought. And that's mainly because, again, we didn't have any of the irrigation or anything else during the drought. We couldn't keep up with it by hand.
Yeah.
But I cleaned these 2 up just to show that it can be done.
Right.
And how it should look.
How it should look. That's good. I mean, I don't think that's going to take any time at all, really. You get out here and just do a little bit of weeding. If you got the time for it, that's the key.
Now, normally, once they fruit, you would trim out these old ones. The only reason I left these in here is so that you could see just how many you're going to get at literally every joint. You're going to get clusters and clusters of berries.
Okay.
But they'll only fruit once. That's why you want to trim those out. And then what grew this year, they'll fruit next year because it's a 2-year cycle.
Okay. So having all these extra ones is good because then you can kind of split up the harvest a little bit.
Well, you really need to run through and pick about every 3 days.
Okay.
Because unlike grapes, the whole bunch doesn't ripen at once. So every 2 to 3 days, you need to go through here.
Okay. Interesting.
That 1,000 pounds that we picked for Stone Pillar was picked over a week, a little over a week.
And what was that? What did they call that blackberry wine? Just blackberry wine, or
It's just a blackberry wine.
Okay.
They actually did a semi-sweet wine instead of a dessert wine, which was really nice.
Oh yeah.
You have a difference where Stone Pillar, because of what they did, they wanted the whole berries.
Okay.
A lot of places like Somerset that do fortified or dessert wines, all they want's the juice. That's why we have the juicer that goes with this.
Oh.
Eventually, as we filled in, we were going to buy a much larger juicer than what we have now.
Okay.
The one we have now is an 80-liter capacity.
Seems like a lot, but I bet it fills up fast.
It's not as much as it sounds.
Yeah, right.
Believe me.